Business School is our main offering. So it's a 3-month all virtual accelerator that supports idea stage entrepreneurs to graduate with online businesses. The numbers would mean nothing if that was how many people started and didn't finish with successful businesses. As I'm sure all of you are, we're focused on the impact. And so you need to have the right candidate profile for your program, who is, I heard someone talking about commitment before, who is truly committed. They really have the impetus. They want this now. They're going to make the time. And also for us, a third thing that was really important was accessibility. We being a purely online program, obviously there's a requirement to have a laptop or a phone as well as data or access to it. I hope at some point we will have it, without that requirement, but for us at the moment, that is essential. So making sure that we recruited people who have, and who are also coming in at the right level. Our program is not, it assumes a basic level of knowledge of online already, like basic computer skills that you already know how to set up on social media, that we actually call it our done something check, that you've done something, which could be started trying to build a website or set up on one of the social channels or started creating content. That both shows commitment as well as the entry level of knowledge that we require to really complete. We have 3 main marketing channels. The first is referrals and tapping into the community. If we've already had one student who has just absolutely killed it through the program, probably her network of other entrepreneurs is also going to be of the right type of profile. So we really heavily leverage the people who are already in our community. And this is something I feel really strongly about as well. At the end of our program, it's not just done. You then join our alumni group, and that has content that still has regular check-ins, and that's where members are sharing wins and celebrating also the failures and the attempts. So keeping people engaged so that you can then leverage that really tight-knit community for referrals has been really important for us. That hasn't given us the scale, but it's given us a lot of the right candidates, which also then cuts down some time in selection and interviews. The second thing that we do is work with partners. So whether it is hubs like you guys, or even just marketing partners. So it could be working with Silicon Cape to put out, a recruitment drive message. Finding people who already have an existing audience that is the profile that you would like to tap into. So obviously not just approaching, for us, it wouldn't make sense, for example, to go to Startup Grind. And if you guys know, they're one of the biggest communities of entrepreneurs in South Africa, but it's like 80% male. And so them sharing our recruitment message is not as helpful as perhaps going to a more localized, specific niche hub or web presence even to share it for us. So finding partners with the right audience. And then the third channel that we use, the social media, everyone's already on it. So it's great because there's Facebook groups that are free to join, that people are joining based on interests. For example, in Cape Town, there's like Cape Town entrepreneurs, Cape Town female entrepreneurs, Cape Town business owners. It's free to join all of these groups. And we also would then approach the admins and ask if they'd be interested in sharing it into their groups for us, because that also then builds credibility. We do put some marketing budget as well behind what we do on social media. Run Facebook ads, Instagram ads, that again helps because you can be really specific on who you want to reach, but it's not essential to do that because of these free forums. We get around 1,500 to 2,000 applications now. Our first programs, we were getting around 500 to 700 applicants, so still a lot, and we select 50 to 60. So it's quite a process, as I'm sure it is for a lot of you as well. When we first started doing this, what we were doing was using Typeform for a basic submission of like text, understanding the profile and asking for a motivation statement. And then we immediately sent people on to a step 2 of the application, which was submitting either a longer motivation or a 1-minute video. we wrote, we don't consider applicants who haven't submitted part 2. So immediately that is assessing commitment, because if you can't commit to part 2 of an application, then we're not going to expend the resources reading part 1. So that almost like self-selected down to probably, I think around 40 or 30 to 40% actually completed the full application. We then moved everyone through to a one-on-one interview. So we watched all the videos, read all the motivations. We managed all of this in an Excel or in a Google Sheet manually. I'm sure some of you use it, but it's a great tool for collaboration because you can sorry, there's lots of birds all around me suddenly. I'm sure you can hear them. So yeah, we used a Google Sheet. So like 3-4 people can all be in there updating at the same time. And so we culled down to around 100 after watching all of the videos. And we're looking for, if you can record a video, upload it to YouTube, and then submit the link to us on the application form, then we make the assumption that your technical knowledge is at the right level to participate in the program. So what we're looking for in the video is clarity of idea. We're looking for passion. And we ask them what's one of the big problems you're facing and one of the things you want to get most out of the program. And that was helpful to really assess, is this just an idea that someone had when they saw the application form and just thought, I'll give it a go? Or is this something that's actually in progress? Because to have a real problem that you're struggling with to share in that video, you actually, you need to be on your journey. So they're the 3 things we screened for. And then we do about 100 or 120 interviews, to get down to the 50 or 60 offers that we make. There's a lot of different tactics, but I think that one of the most successful ones is collaboration. And, I think there's 23, 25 hubs on here. Imagine if you all shared each other's content and all grew your following at the same time. So when I started, I also didn't have any budget. And so we approached other female entrepreneur communities with roughly the same size audience as us, maybe a little bit more. And we just did a simple exchange. We'll share your post if you share ours. And maybe you do this fortnightly or weekly. And then you're all growing together, which is, really what collaboration is all about. The second way to grow is, or I call this like the 3 C's of growth, and they're all free. One is a competition, one is collaboration, and one is like a challenge. So the second one that I said is competition. Competitions work really well. You guys probably know this, whether you've run one or entered one. People want to win stuff. So it's a great way for people to be sharing your content. What you would typically do is obviously have a prize, and then your entry mechanism. So what people have to do to enter the competition is share the post and then tag 2 friends in the post. That is how you, as Michelle was saying, amplify that content to other people, because your followers are doing it for you, and then their followers are doing it for you as well. And it's this viral effect. So competitions work really nicely. The third is a challenge, and it doesn't have to be, so typically a challenge runs like every day you pose a task to people. And you gather kind of a community around this, and everyone again is sharing to their followers. It's a lot more admin, but it works nicely. I heard someone talking about GBV before, and so I'm sure you know that today is the first day of 16 days of activism for gender-based violence. So for example, that would be a challenge. So we have a new account with only a few hundred followers, and every day for 16 days, we'll share a task that people will do. And then that consistent sharing of content and action will encourage people to come back and follow our account. That's obviously the most resource intensive of the 3.